Growing up, I was given many opportunities that I didn't seize. One of them being when I was growing up, my family used to always tell me to go out to eat with them, go to the movies with them. But I always thought those were, I used to say, no, it's trash. What am I going to get out of going with them? There's no value in me going. I'd rather stay home and play video games. But to my parents, they're like, that meant the world. If I were to go with them, it meant the world because we would make memories and we would bond more as a family. The quote I chose today is, one man's trash is another man's treasure. My interpretation of this quote is that just because something looks with no value, it looks like it's garbage, it doesn't mean it is, right? To other people, that could mean it could mean the world. It could be the missing piece they need for whatever they're struggling in life at the moment. So that's why we shouldn't be quick to judge. I agree with this quote. Today I want to convince you that just because something looks trash or because something looks without value, it doesn't mean it is, right? I believe that everything is made for a purpose, and whatever you think is trash has a purpose, and the other people can see it, and that's why it is treasure to them. It is priceless to some people, but to you, you think it's trash, which is why I encourage you guys to have an open mind and to not be quick to judge. I'll be listing 3 main points today. One being of Canelo Alvarez, the boxing superstar. My second point is a Fast and the Furious movie scene. And my third point is a Superman comic book. Right. My first point is Canelo Alvarez is a major boxing superstar athlete. He was given in, I believe, 2013, 2015. Another boxer was given the opportunity to take on Floyd Mayweather. But he threw away that opportunity. He said it was a trash opportunity because he was already a big name, and he didn't believe that he needed to fight anyone huge to owe his success to. So he said, I don't want to fight this guy. His chances of losing were high. So he's like, I don't want to fight this guy. I'd rather just do my own and just give the opportunity to someone else. And Canelo stepped in. He said Canelo was an up and coming star. He was looking for this fight. He wanted this fight. So he said, you know what? This is my opportunity. This is my time. I need to take it. He seized the moment, and now Canelo is one of the biggest boxing stars there is in 2020. Here we see the quote come into play, where one man's trash, another man's treasure. We see the first boxer say, you know what? This is a trash opportunity. I don't need it. I don't want it. He left it for done. He didn't want it. Done. But Canelo came in and said, you know what? This is the opportunity I was looking for. This is so valuable to me. I need to take it. And now we see Canelo being one of the biggest boxing stars in the world. Secondly, we have in one of the scenes, Fast and the Furious, we see 2 of the characters go into a junkyard, Brian and Dominic Toretto, and go choose a car that was really, to first glance, is trash. It was trash that was beaten. It was like garbage. The owner came up and said, why don't you guys choose this car? It's already built, it's fast, and it looks good. They're like, no, we want this car. And he was like, why do you want this car? It's trash, It's physically trash, and it just looks trash. But Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor was like, no, this means a lot more. You don't see the bigger picture, but we do. And so they ended up taking the car home. They built it, and it was actually one of the cars that they built right here. It was completely salvaged, and they made it into a monster car. It was beast. It was an awesome car, right? And here we see another representation of one man's trash is another man's treasure. The owner said it was garbage, that they should choose something else, but they saw the value. They saw the potential the broken car had, and they made it into something spectacular. The last example I will be giving is about the comic superstar known as Superman, where we see in one of the pictures he comes down to Earth, he crash lands here into a farm with a house, and he grows up in this house, and it ends up leading to become a foreclosure house. So after a big fight in the movie where he saved the world, him and Batman. Since Batman in the comics is super rich, he said, what do you want in return? Let me give you something. He said, he showed him, he's like, can you buy back this house from the bank? He's like, why? This house is trash. Why do you want this? And Batman and Superman was like, it just means so much more to me than you would imagine. Because that was his home. He grew up there. So Batman bought the house, and Superman and his mom ended up living there, and it was an awesome line to read in the comics. We can see this also. It's like, people think something is trash, but it really isn't. To others, it meant the world to Superman for him to have that trash house, even if it was old, right? I just told you about 3 main stories and 3 different reasons of why this is, and of why they use this quote: "One man's trash is another man's treasure." In all 3 of these stories, we see this quote played out. In conclusion, I see that, right? We could see that the quote that was given to us: "One man's trash is another man's treasure," and how my interpretation of this quote is that you should always look at things with an open eye, right? With an open mindset. That just because something seems to be trash, it doesn't mean it is, right? There's a lot of value to that thing that you think is trash that other people may think and may use as something more valuable than you would ever imagine. I agree with this quote because we all live, because regardless of us thinking it, this quote is something that we do day to day. We think that something is garbage, but like contractors, right? We see a piece of wood, but they see a house. You see, it's all about the mindset. Today I wanted to convince you that just because something looks beat up without value, it doesn't mean it is. Just there's a lot of value to something to other people that you just can't see because you have a closed mind. So we encourage to always have an open mind and to just know that one man's trash and another man's treasure.